This is Movies in Contemplation with Jarokk and...
Oh, am I talking to you?
Jesus, yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Hi.
How's everybody doing? We hope you all had a good Thanksgiving.
We just had our second.
Yeah, we did. We just had a second Thanksgiving, a little Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
Yes, but it was very good, very good. Mm-hmm. Sorry about the late let out.
Of our last episode, yeah. Well, shit happens.
Shit does happen. It's a holiday. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you all understand. Holidays, put shit on the back burner.
It does.
So, anywho, moving on. So, we have the 13th Warrior today.
Mm-hmm. This is your pick.
Yep, this is a Jarokk pick. 13th Warrior. 1999. We are dealing with directors... Two directors.
Directors.
We have John McTiernan, who is known for Die Hard.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Predator.
Get to the chopper!
All them good action films for you fellas. And we got Michael Crichton, the wonderful author who gave us Jurassic Park, Eaters of the Dead, Congo. A lot of really good stuff.
Wow, that's a pretty good team there.
How do you think? So, we'll get there. This is a very interesting movie. This is one of my favorite Viking movies, honestly, of all time.
What about this movie do you feel a connection with?
I really enjoy this movie because I do. I have a love for Norse mythology. I have a love for Nordic and Viking type stuff. And just medieval in general. I just have a huge love for it. But this, for me, just the visual of the film, everything, when I first saw it, it just blew me away. Mm-hmm. Like, you mentioned it, Bolvi, the lead character in the film, his armor was like the coolest fucking thing to me with that fucking bear cape pelt that he had.
Yeah, the costumes were really well done.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that right out of the gate.
Yeah, it was all really good. The scenery I loved. I just really like this movie. Now, like anything, there are ups and downs, so we can go ahead and dive in. But
yeah, well, I remember you talking about this movie. We were driving somewhere. Was this during one of our trips between the Midwest and the West Coast? I swear I remember you telling me about this film. I was driving, you were not, and you were trying so hard to describe this movie, because I just remember talking about the small and the big and the difference between the swords, but yeah. I can't remember when.
I think you've pretty much hit the nail on the head. I think it was probably during one of our road trips across country.
Yeah.
But anywho, starting off, for the wine today,
yeah, we
wanted to get a mead.
Whoops.
In honor of this film, but honestly, we are recording a lot earlier than scheduled because, again, Thanksgiving threw a monkey wrench and everything. So we're going back to carnivore.
Yeah.
You'll all understand why. Why we chose carnivore yet again.
Pretty soon.
Yeah.
And also, good mead is hard to come by.
It really is. You can't find mead in just your local grocery store. You got to go cross hoops and all other kinds of stuff to find mead.
Or go to Ren Fair.
And luckily, they may have it. I don't even know.
They had it last time.
Did they? Did we get mead last time?
You did.
I did.
Yes, you did.
Oh, I did.
Oh my God. I think you had like 2 cups and you were feeling pretty happy.
I love honey wine. I love it.
It was pretty strong. I couldn't do it. I didn't.
It's sweet.
It's
really sweet.
Super sweet.
But it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Anywho.
But we're no stranger to carnivore. It's very, very dark and quite bloody.
It is.
Looking.
Yeah. Very dark, very bloody. Stains real easy.
Yeah.
Can't ask for anything better.
Your teeth are...
And my lips.
Living proof. And lips.
my lips.
I just don't understand. Like, when you drink red wine, you're the only person I've met that gets a stain on their bottom lip.
I don't know why either.
I think it's the way you drink it, I think. I've always wanted to ask you, but I just never thought to ask.
I mean, we can put a camera to me next episode and see what happens.
You put, like, the edge of the glass, maybe, like right in the middle of your bottom lip. I think maybe that's what's...
That might be it. I don't know. I don't swallow the glass, so that might be it. I don't know.
And I do.
I'm not saying that you do.
Maybe I do.
Well, that explains why you don't have the line on your lip. Maybe I should start. Anywho.
So, I was worried about this film.
I know, you made it very clear.
When I walked into the room, I was just like, what did I say?
I don't remember what
I just
you
made
said.
some
You made
grunt.
You made some kind of grunt, and it was really amusing.
Like, ugh!
Yeah, you were just no, you did a scream.
No.
You're like, you saw it on, and you're like, anyway.
Oh, yeah, I saw on the TV.
Yes.
Anyway, but drop us in.
All right, dropping us in. Drop the beat.
Drop us a beat.
So we're starting up.
Where are we?
We're in like India. We're somewhere. I can't remember exactly where we are. I think we're in like India or somewhere. And we have Antonio Banderas starting us off. He's starting off with a nice little monologue. His name is Ahmed Ibn Fahlan. I'm going to butcher these fucking names, guys. I'm just letting y'all know right now. But Ahmed Ibn Fahlan, he is a writer, a poet, actually a historical figure, a real person that he is based off of. The beginning of this movie is in a way historically accurate, and then it goes to the realm of fiction. We kind of hit like a Beowulf wall later towards the movie.
Is that a real saying?
The Beowulf wall?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It sounds like it is.
It might be.
I don't know anything about Beowulf, but it just sounds like something you would hear in like a film class or something. Like, we're hitting a Beowulf wall here, people.
Right. Well, in the middle of the film, when they barricade themselves in that ranch, it's very Beowulf. That's what Beowulf did when Grendel came. Him and his men, they barricaded themselves inside the Great Hall, and Grendel came, fucked all of them up. So that's essentially, that's kind of what happens. We kind of go on that mythical Beowulf poem journey.
Okay.
Towards the later half of the film. And in the beginning, we're kind of like learning about Ahmed, and so he has a follower played by Omar Sharif, the Egyptian actor. I can't say his name in this film. I don't know it. They don't really say it. He's like a chiefessor or some shit. I don't know how they say it, but he's pretty much almost like a guide to Antonio Banderas' character. And here's an interesting fun fact. So when Omar did Lawrence of Arabia with Peter O'Toole, he wore black and Peter O'Toole wore white. And in this movie, they made Antonio Banderas wear black and Omar wore white. It was kind of like a salute, if you will. It was an homage to that. And I thought that was really interesting. It was really fun. So anywho, they're traveling the desert, and their caravan is being attacked by these raiders called Tartars. And the Tartars see a longboat with Vikings on it, freak out, turn around, run away. Antonio Banderas is all like, oh, should we be afraid of these guys? Like, I want to go talk to them. I'm ambassador here. Let me go talk to these guys. And the leader of the caravan is like, no, just stay quiet. Don't do anything. And then he goes to a village where he finally goes in, him and Omar. They walk into this village. Nobody speaks their language. They are totally in the dark. So Omar's character tries Greek, can't get anybody, and then he goes with Latin. Or vice versa. Again, I don't speak the languages. I don't know. But that's what he tries. He was speaking either Greek or Latin. And one person was Herger, is the Viking, played by Dennis Storhoy, I believe is how you say his name, Storhoy. But he talks to Herger, and Herger's the only one that understands him, and then him and Herger are each other's translators. So the entire beginning of the film, you don't get subtitles, which I kind of did like, because it makes you guess. You're sitting there going, okay, what the fuck are they saying? And then you have Omar translating, and then you have Dennis translating for the Vikings.
Yeah, I didn't really like that because I just got so confused. Like, did we really need 3 translators? That I did glaze over a little bit. Yeah. And go like somewhat cross-eyed, like, oh my god, I have no idea what's going on.
I'm hoping,
this is just me as a first-time viewer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a little concerned. I was hoping that this wasn't going to be happening throughout the film.
No, and it slowly dies down. And so after that, Bolvai, played by Vladimir Kulich, he sees Antonio's character, and he tells Antonio, he's all like, Arab. They all call him Arab. Like, Arab is what they call him. He's Arabian. And he's all like, Arab, tell me a tale. Like, I can tell that you're a storyteller or whatever you are. That's your people. I want a poem. So Antonio Banderas' character starts to try to tell a poem, and then somebody tries to murder Bolvi. And Bolvi fucks his ass up. Like, within an instant.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like in the beginning of the film, yeah. Bolvi's sitting there, the woman's trying to get Bolvi's attention, and Bolvi looks at her and he's like, excuse me, but I am listening to this shit. And then the guy just pulls a knife, fucking knocks the bread out of this chick's hand, and then Bolvi just cuts his ass in half. And Antonio is looking and is all terrified. He's like, what the fuck am I doing here? So finally, and you find out you are there because they have this feast going on and everything's happening because the king died. So Bolvi is the heir of this particular city or village, and they are doing part of that. I believe it's 12 days. It's a 12-day funeral. I believe. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. But I do believe it is like a 12-day funeral procession. So they're doing the funeral. They're having the dinner and everything, and then we go out, and they're putting the king on a long ship, on a long boat. And then they have a woman who is being picked up by the guys doing the prayer. Yeah, she's doing the prayer. Now, in the film, I'm pretty sure this was only a night, and it wasn't the full 12 days. But that woman being pulled up, if I know correctly, they don't really tell you in this film, but historically, and even in the show Vikings, they do talk about this in Vikings. When the Jarl or the king dies, they have a slave go with, it's pretty brutal, and this is actually pretty disgusting. But anywho, a slave is pretty much raped, if you will, by all of the king's followers, all of the Jarl's followers, and then she is killed and put on the ship, and then they set the ship ablaze.
My God.
You kind of say it's rape. I mean, it is rape. I mean, if it's totally against your will. But they try to, justify it. They're all, if you sleep with us because this is what will get you married to him in Valhalla. Like, you will be married to us. You will be married to him in Valhalla, but you have to sleep with us to appease him. All of this shit. This is just what I heard. This is what I read. I don't know.
Funny because I thought you were going to tell us, because some of that reminds me of the Egyptian culture.
Yeah.
Like when a king or pharaoh dies, his slaves and servants have to go with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when they're mummified or whatever, I believe. Yeah.
But there was no talk of rape, but
not in this. Well, obviously,
it's
in the 90s, they're not going to do that shit.
Oh, of course not. But it does sound very similar to Egyptian culture.
And again, this is culture from fucking thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
That
this
shit
992 or
right.
something.
This shit was so rape, sleeping with your sister. This shit was in a way acceptable.
It was primal.
Shit like that. It now obviously and. For a right reason, it is frowned upon. But then it just wasn't. That was just how it was. That's what people were doing before them. That's what they did.
Accepted,
right?
Yeah, it happened. We can't deny that shit like this happened. But
right.
The fact that we were able to grow and learn from it is a good thing.
Yeah, but again, in the movie, they made it look very honorable.
They did.
So, and obviously,
good on them.
Yeah. And I did like it. I liked that honorable aspect because it made you think. This woman must be the king's wife, or his daughter, or whoever it is, and she is accepting the fact that he died, and she is going with him. Very cute, very.
That's what I thought.
Very honorable, and I did take it down a dark path because I'm sorry, guys, I told you guys the truth. So.
Well, why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Why not get a little history lesson here?
That's how it is. So then we cut to the next morning, and I love this scene. I really do. We cut to the next morning, and all the Vikings are cleaning themselves they sip into a wooden bowl of water that is brought freshly from the creek. And they all care about recycling so much, these Vikings, that they wash their mouths, they clean themselves, and then they spit the water back into the bowl.
So eco-friendly.
So eco-friendly indeed. They don't waste a drop.
Wow.
Exactly. They don't want to waste shit. So
screw illness,
Yeah.
germs, and the plague or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, let's keep those oceans clean, Vikings.
Exactly. So they do that, and they actually cut a really good line that I found out. So Dennis Herger, when he finishes and he blows his nose into the water and does all that, and he passes it to Antonio Banderas. When Antonio Banderas pushes the shit away, Dennis is supposed to say, but they cut this from the film and I don't know why. Dennis is supposed to say, I thought you Arabs believed in cleanliness. Like he says something smart because of the fact that Antonio Banderas just kind of insulted their way of life.
See, I thought that something like that was going to be said, like the Vikings were going to be offended by...
They cut it.
They cut it.
I don't know why, but they cut
Maybe
it.
because they were speaking ill of the
And here's what's
culture,
and here's what's interesting.
Arab culture. I don't know.
Here's what is very interesting about this movie again that I found out. I found all this out not long ago. But so when this movie was in the making, we had a Cerberus crew. And by Cerberus, I mean the three-headed dog Cerberus. John McTiernan, Michael Crichton, and fucking Hollywood. The goddamn studios. So we had Crichton, McTiernan, in the studio. All of them wanted to go different paths. Nobody got along. That's why there are two directors.
Now that you're saying this, I remember you telling me this when
Yes.
we were in the car.
Yes.
Tell the people.
So 3 essentially different visions were made for this movie. And it was all over the place. So McTiernan wanted to go one way with it. He wanted more, more Islamic. He wanted more like Arabian music, more of that culture into the film. Studio didn't want it. You know, they were like, no, we don't want it. We don't want too much religion in here. We don't want too much anything. We don't want any of that. This is...
Yeah, let's not show other people's culture or anything that's not American.
Right, so they pretty much made him not do anything.
Yeah, they're not going to make money doing that, of course.
Right. And here is another interesting fact. So, Vladimir Coolidge, Bolvine, this was his first big break.
Oh.
He was in shit before, but this was his first, like, leading role. This was his first main Hollywood thing. Like, he just moved from wherever he's from, and he gets to Los Angeles. He fires his agent because his agent isn't getting him any work.
Yeah.
His agent to him was lazy. So he fires his agent. His agent calls him a week later and is like, there's some film that they're doing about Vikings that they want a bunch of Norwegian guys and we want you want to go do it? And he was like, sure, why not? Well, Crichton in the studio, they didn't like his audition. They didn't want him.
Oh.
John McTiernan wanted him. And you can go ahead and guess, but who they wanted to play Bolvi, Stellan Skarsgård. That was the first choice. Stellan Skarsgård.
I wouldn't have been mad
I wouldn't have been mad
choice.
at that either, but I love the fact that they took a risk.
Yes.
Because it paid the fuck off. Because I loved him as Bolvi. I absolutely loved Vladimir. He was amazing. And after this film, I haven't seen him in anything too much. Except for like recently and a couple other things like Ironclad and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But I was like, why the fuck don't I see this guy in anything? Because he was amazing. So, anyway, that was that fun fact.
Do you know why Antonio Banderas was chosen at all?
I can't really tell you based off that.
Okay.
I think just because he was a big name at the time. And obviously, yeah, he's Spanish.
It makes sense.
But again, Omar is Egyptian. And again, if you play any race.
Here's the thing. Like... Yes,
I would have liked to have seen somebody Arabian or Indian or somebody play that role in Arabic.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Yes, definitely seeing more races and cultures brought out to Hollywood is amazing, but it doesn't necessarily have to be so black and white.
No.
Like for me, being mixed, I am ethnically ambiguous.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see people put in a box of, okay, you are Spanish, you need to only do Spanish roles. You are white, you only like.
And I agree with you.
It's a.
I said last episode that he was miscast, which he wasn't. Racially, sure, whatever, but
he was, and honestly, he was Antonio Banderas.
He was Antonio.
Not that it was a bad thing.
Now,
but he was definitely not
He was
the character.
he was a Denzel Washington, Freddie Prinze Jr. He's everything.
Yeah.
He plays himself in every film.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you there. Again, I would have loved to have seen somebody else. But for what we had, I did like him. I did like him for what we had.
He wasn't bad. I'm not saying that he did a bad job.
No,
but
and I know you're not saying that.
It was just hard. He didn't put me in the culture, the religion that his character was. It was just hard. It was hard to put me there.
Exactly.
I just had to keep. I had to keep like repeating.
Well,
in my head.
he said his name wrong like the entire fucking film.
Oh my god.
He didn't even put he put Ahmed ibn Fahlan ibn Rabas Ahmed.
Yeah.
Ahmed ibn Fahlan.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
come on, dude. It's not that Ahmed.
Yeah, and he was definitely a little more on the tan side for this too. It's like that didn't help.
Yeah, I mean,
Spray tan did not help either.
no,
But he's not bad. And
but he wasn't bad. I mean,
this is not a bash on him. This is not like, I think, not that this was this was a good move on him to do a type of movie like this. Try to branch out a little bit.
Yeah.
But his character definitely felt like he was the comedic relief a little bit.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree there. He was. I mean, Dennis was kind of comedic in his own way, but it worked for him.
Yeah, well, like Antonio Banderas, he was like the fish out of water situation where he gets thrown into this new culture that is very different from his, and his reactions, he does a lot of like double takes or like those eyes of like, what? Yeah. I don't know. It was like kind of cutesy, but that's all I have so far. I honestly, before we started watching this movie, I was like, I really do not think I'm going to have any notes on this.
Yeah.
And I ended up writing notes, so I'm surprised.
Yeah. So we're journeying on. Oh, no, we're not.
No,
we're not.
No journey
yet.
has begun yet.
No. So they wake up, they spit in the bowl, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
This little boy was on a boat, like standing there like a statue. And then he comes in, all the warriors start coming in, and everybody's in an uproar, kind of like, oh my god, something's happened. You find out this kid is from a kingdom a little ways away. Well, a lot of ways away, actually, but further north. And he comes in, and he's telling Bolvi, he's telling everybody, he's like, we're being attacked by these demons. These demons have attacked my kingdom. My brothers are dead. My father is old and dying. We need help. Like, we lost a lot of people. We need you to come out and help us. So Bolvi calls out the oracle. So this old woman comes out, casts these bones, like most oracles or whoever, witch doctors. So she consults the bones and throws the bones down and finds out that there has to be 13 warriors to go on this journey. It's like prophesized. 13 warriors have to go to save this place. So they journey on. They don't journey on. I keep saying that. They pick the 13 warriors.
You're ready to get to this journey.
I'm ready to get on that fucking journey, man. They pick the warriors, and you find out that the 13th warrior has to be no Northman. No Northman. Yeah. Here is where history goes away. And now the fiction comes in. Because Ahmed did not go on any journey. He did not become a fucking warrior.
Did not
he
partake.
Didn't do shit. He just lived with them, took notes, made a journal, and that was it. He was literally like, this is how these people are. Most of them have red hair, blonde hair, blue eyes. Like, they're much bigger than me. Like, shit like that. So he's at first like, I don't want to do this. But they're all like, no, you have no fucking choice. You're coming. And he's like, okay, why not?
Can't fight them.
Right. And you see that his horse is so small because all these guys have fucking Clydesdales.
Yeah.
So they're making fun of his horse the whole time, calling it a dog. Only an Arab would bring a dog to war. Insults.
Yeah.
And then later he proves them wrong by doing this little jump fucking scene where he goes around and
it just reminded
does an obstacle course with his horse and
Yeah.
starts leaping and bounds.
Yeah, it reminds me of those like really prissy horse shows.
Yeah.
But I found it like just whoa.
That's some hard fucking wind, man.
Oh my god, it's so fucking windy outside. It's scary. Anyway, so when he's doing this little horse show, there's like a close-up of him, and it's slow motion. It's raining, and then it cuts to the guy that he's gonna like eventually jump over, and then it's like not raining. I just thought that was like a weird, like, was that a editing
It was probably
issue
an editing
or
fob up. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
But actually, yes and no, because again, here comes the Cerberus. There was a lot of cutting, double shooting, reshooting for this film. McTiernan shot one way.
Oh.
Crichton shot another way. There was a lot of that going on, and they would pick who had the better shit.
See, I'm actually glad that I forgot that you told me this.
Yeah.
Because I'm glad that I didn't try to look for it.
Yeah. So all of...
Wasn't that kind of like Conan too?
Yes, yes, actually. Very similar, yeah. Because the author... Well, not the author, but the writer... Yeah, because there were a bunch of different writers and a bunch of different...
Finding a pattern with you.
I know, right? I'm crazy.
I know.
I know. I find that shit fascinating.
I love it.
But anywho, yeah, that was one thing. The studio had a big say on a lot of shit, and it was just nuts. So there was a lot of cutting and whatnot. Because here's the thing. They wanted this movie to be PG-13. So they cut a lot of bad shit from it in the first cut. And then later they were like, you know what? PG-13 ain't gonna work for this movie. We need to make it R. So they gore it up like a motherfucker, which you saw. Blood all over when they go into that ranch house. Yeah. They gore it the fuck up, and then they add a bunch of fight scenes that were not part of the original cut. And McTiernan was mad by this because he was like, why? Why didn't we leave it at rated R in the beginning? Why did we switch to PG-13 and now go back to rated R? Why didn't you just do it? And when you did that, blah, 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 blah. Well,
no, I was just noticing that, how do you say
Michael Crichton.
It says uncredited.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. On IMDb.
Yeah, on IMDb.
I just noticed.
No, he's very much credited. He was a producer for the film. This is why he had a lot of say. His money went into the film. He helped write the fucking thing. He half directed it. Like,
was he uncredited as a director?
Maybe as a director, I don't know. But a lot of scenes that he did shoot, like one of the end scenes went his way, and we'll get there.
Okay.
But, because, like I said, him and McTiernan shot two completely different scenes sometimes. And that's just what was bizarre. Poor
cast.
Poor cast indeed. Vladimir went through hell. All of them went through hell. And Vladimir talked about this. He talks about this in an interview. He was like, I was just being like pulled in so many different directions. He was like, we filmed, when you're so passionate about something, he was like, we filmed in some of the most horrible conditions.
Wow.
Like, just so much crazy shit. So they do all that, and then their journey begins. They're on the boat. They're traveling. They finally get to land, and they are met up by a messenger who is in silk. He smells of perfume.
A woman.
Like a woman, yeah. A herald. You know, they're pretty much saying that who is this fucking guy coming to get us? Like, he ain't no warrior. And all these guys, these 13 men, are hardened warriors. Like, they're hardened. They've seen shit. They've done shit. They go to this village, and all of the men between 15 and 50, as they say, are dead, gone, probably because of those, the Vendel, the demons. Mm-hmm. And they finally talk to the king, and he's all like, what troubles... Bolvaj's like, what troubles this place, old man? And the king's just like... He's just like heavy breathing. And then they describe that these demons come, this fucking guy comes out with his bear claw scars on his fucking face. And I saw the thing that did this clear enough. Teeth like a lion, head like a bear, claws like a plank to gender. All that shit. He's just going on. So he's telling the story about these creatures that are half man, half bear. They have a dragon. All of this shit, right? Mm-hmm. Bolvaj and everybody there talking. They're conversing outside. And they're all like, this can't be right. He's got to be delusional. Nobody has seen the Vendel in 1,000 years. This is stories. These are stories. Conversation is broken because they start to see something running, something very small. And they see a naked boy covered in blood, mud, just completely naked, running and screaming with his hands on his ears like he just saw shit. And he comes up. They're riding their fucking Clydesdales down. They get the boy, and then the woman knows the boy knows that he lives in a farmstead. She takes him, the queen. She takes him to the farmstead, and here is where we're getting like Navy SEAL Viking action. They're fucking walking through these fucking woods. You know, the archers are up one way. It's separated. The fucking guys are moving in, swords out, fucking hand signals, doing their fucking SWAT. And then they start to go up to the ranch. One tries to do like a fucking gymnastics swing in, and then it just fucking breaks. The branch just breaks in.
Like a mistake, or he like.
I like to think that it might have been that it was just that they were like, all right, let's do it, and then it just accidentally broke on set, and it wasn't supposed to work that. But they left.
Like they were so careful at the beginning, and then
he just tries. Hey guys, check this. I'm gonna do a fucking 180.
Yeah.
Just fucking drops. Whole fucking
all right,
thing just falls in. And then
guess
everybody.
we're going in.
But after that, all of everybody fucking just charges in. At that point, they're like, okay, we heard something. He fell. It's time to just roll in. And then Antonio gets up. He almost steps in front of the archer, and the archer's like, don't step in front of me. And Antonio's like, what? He's just like, and the archer didn't break eye contact. Like, I was like, okay, these are fucking hardened motherfuckers.
Yeah.
These are badass dudes. And that was something that Vladimir, he said, he was like, I tried to give a suggestion. But like most of us at our jobs who try to give fucking suggestions, we're fucking looked past. We're fucking just, we don't care what you have to say.
Or you can get in trouble.
Right.
For putting your word in, hey, maybe it'll be better if we do it this way. Oh, no. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, this is your last job.
Right. So he was very careful about it, but he did make a suggestion because he was like, suggestion. He was like, we've been shooting. They shot this film in like 10 months, and he was like, why don't we just take 20 seconds of each of the warriors, all 13. Take 20 seconds, have Ahmed go up to all the warriors on the ship and just have him meet all of them. 20 seconds. Each of them. Just 20 seconds. Let you know who they are. Who's this guy? Is he a blacksmith? Who's this guy? Is he a veteran warrior? Who's this guy? Is he new? Like, we don't know.
Nice to get a little exposition on
you don't
everybody.
know. You just fucking go in there without knowing who half of them are. The only ones you really know are fucking Herger and Bolvi. The rest, you're just kind of like, okay, well, I guess we'll just figure out where it goes.
Follow your lead, yeah.
I mean, for what they had, it did a good job at kind of explaining characters, but
it took a little time for me.
I would have liked to have seen that and that was the one thing that Vladimir was. He was like, put connection, let the people connect to the characters.
Yes,
especially when we get to the scene that's about to come up. When they figure out they're walking in, and then they have that horror show for Antonio added in. For the rated R credit. Added in. Wasn't supposed to be there.
Oh.
So they added that. He's walking around. He sees the limbs. He sees the bodies with fucking bite marks in them. Like, just looked like they were being eaten.
Limbs were, like, off.
Off.
Yeah.
The bones were gnawed on. Like, just bizarre shit. So he goes out. He starts puking, and all of them are like, all right, they're true. It's the Vendel. And one guy has a statue of the mother. Of that maternal, big-breasted, big-bellied woman statue. Yeah. And they're all like, it's the mother of the Vendor. So one of the guys, the tattoo, he fucking just hits that shit, and he's like, piss on it. Another guy spits on it. And they're all being watched. You see that they're being watched by these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And after that, they go back to the castle, and they plan to go and stay at that ranch. They clean it up, get all the bodies out, fortify it. All 13 stay the night, and they're in a circle in the middle of the room. They're all sleeping, pretending to sleep, quotes. And the arch is up top, and now they're hearing shit from outside, and they're all still circled. Antonio wakes up because he was the only one that was actually asleep. He wakes up, and he's like freaking out. Herger fucking grabs him, pulls him down, and he's like, when they come, we form a circle in the center of the room, backs to one another. I'm not a warrior. Very soon you will be. Just all that shit. And then all of a sudden... fucking shit comes in. Antonio's freaking out. And they're like... The Vikings are doing work on these fucking dudes. They're doing work.
They're huge.
One is up against Antonio. And Antonio just drives his fucking big-ass blade into this dude. And he takes that fucking claw, bashes it down, knocks the fucking sword out of Antonio's hands, picks up Antonio like he's Hulk goddamn Hogan, and then throws him across the fucking room. and you're like, okay, these fuckers have supernatural strength. Are these really demons? Like, whoa, this is fucked up. Like, he literally just had this big-ass little fucking great sword thrown into his shit and just picked a guy up. So Antonio's already like, these are demons. Like, these are fucking demons, you know? And they rip off one dude's head, and then at the end of the battle, they drive them all off. They're running around with their torches. They're looking for the bodies of the fallen. They're like, I don't see any of the guys that we killed. There is not one fucking Wendell here. So they're sitting there talking, and then they go back. And you find out that the king has a son. And Bolvi is kind of thinking of like a conspiracy, saying that this son killed the other heirs, maybe led an attack. They don't go this far down. This is honestly me trying to think here. And this might be more... this might be answered in the books a little more in The Eaters of the Dead, but I don't know. This is just my speculation for the film. I think that the prince killed his other brothers and maybe left the battle when they all tried to fight the Wendell for the first time, and that's why he's not liked, and he's about to take over, because him and Bolvi like butt heads, and you don't really know why. And then the prince starts to poison the king's ear, trying to get the king against Bolvi. So Bolvi and Herger are like, we got to make an example of this prince. We got to do something. Let's kill his bodyguard. So Herger picks a fight with the biggest fucking young man in that village, and starts to piss him off, throws mud on him, insults him. So they do a duel where they each have 3 shields. And whenever the first warrior to get down to the 3rd shield and it breaks, that's when they can start killing each other. Well, Herger, fucking old, and he can't take it. He gets down to his last shield. So the redhead goes up and goes to kill him. Well, Herger fucking does like a pirouette, fucking drops his blade on the redhead dude and kills him. Antonio Banderas goes up to him and goes, you could have killed him as well. Yes? Well, why the deception? Deception is the point.
Any fool can calculate strength. That one has been doing it for the moment they saw us. Now he has to calculate what he can't see.
And fear what he doesn't know.
Any fool can calculate strength. Now he's got to calculate what he can't see. And if you think about this,
okay.
If you think about this for the movie, it's what the Wendell do. The Wendell are playing with you the entire fucking film. So he's sitting there, the prince is pissed off, and then Bolvi says one of the most intelligent fucking things. He says, we will miss Angus tonight. We will miss his sword. Because he knows they're going to get attacked. They just killed a very strong, capable fucking fighter to help them tonight, and it just got taken away all because of this little feud from inside. All because of the prince and Bolvi.
See, I didn't catch any of that.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the fight, but I didn't catch the tension, or I don't know, I missed something.
You pretty much, it's shit you really gotta look at. Like, I've seen this movie a lot.
Right.
You've seen it once. So, you really do have to watch and pay attention and all of this shit. And it's shit that you really gotta catch. And it's shit that took me a long time to catch. Like, some of this shit tonight that I'm talking about is just now coming to me. Because... this is just how watching this so many times, and now I'm finally like, oh, okay, I get it. I fucking get it.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is a man!
I think I was so focused on the difference between Antonio Banderas' character and the Vikings, because they kept mocking him. They kept calling him little brother. They kept calling him small. They kept downplaying his like abilities. Like, were they doing that on purpose to get him to either toughen up a little bit, or did they really doubt him?
I like to think that Herger was. The others, I believe, needed him to show them.
He needed to prove himself?
He needed to prove himself, especially with Tattoo. Tattoo really didn't like him in the beginning.
Right.
He really hated his ass. But he started to grow on him.
Yeah.
And
when did Antonio Banderas make his little blade,
So when
sword?
they were all doing the defenses,
Yeah.
when Tattoo was like, he just goes up, he's like, all right, let me just show this guy how to do this. He goes, here, you want to cut the pole. Watch, keep your eye on the pole and just cut it. And he does it like it's nothing.
Yeah.
He literally just fucking cuts a spike into this fucking palisade perfectly. And is like, all right, now go ahead and do it. I'm going to go fucking sharpen my blade. And Antonio Banderas tries to do it, knocks over like 4 palisades, and fucking...
He falls too, or
he
something,
falls
right?
over into a fucking moat and knocks over the palisades. The big guy, I think his name was like Grommeth or some shit, the guy with the hammer. He turns around and he's just like, you son of a bitch. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So Antonio Banderas is just like, I'm a metal worker. Where is metal worker? Like, I do metal. He goes over there. And then he goes, Tattoo's doing metal work. He's like, will you stop and let me do it? And then he makes his little Saracen blade. He makes that curved, beautiful, perfect for horses. Don't know about foot combat, but perfect for horses.
Almost Dothraki.
In a way, yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah. So he does that, and then they're all like, give an Arab a sword, it makes a knife. He's like, can I give that to me daughter?
I kept coming up with like taglines for this movie while I was watching it, and I don't know if you want me to say them now or wait till the end.
It doesn't matter. You can say them. Or should we wait? I don't know.
Should we wait?
Let's just wait.
Okay, alright.
So anyway, that's when he makes his little blade. And now he's at a watchtower. He's with the scout of the group.
Yeah.
Who was a badass on his own. And he's all
He's like off on his own.
Yeah, he's all the time.
Yeah.
He's a scout. And he's really good at his job. He's like, Hector, where are you? He goes, shut your racket, I hear you. He's like, oh, I thought to find you in the tower. That's why I'm not in it. Like he's hiding in the trees. Like, hey. So he learns about these cliffs that make thunder noises. Because Antonio Banderas was like, oh, we're going to have rain tonight. It's going to rain for this battle. Wonderful. He's like, no, it's just the cliffs. Waves hit the tide into this surf and da-da-da-da. So finally, the guy in the tree, the scout, he sees the fireworm, the fire serpent, coming down the hill. The dragon with the mist. And the mist! And the shit's coming down. They run back. They ride back. Everybody's getting ready. They barricade the fucking city or village, whatever it is. And then they see a little girl running. And she's not far from the dragon. So Antonio is all like, open the gate. He leaps the gate, goes down there, and he finds out that the dragon is just cavalry with horses. Again, fear, what fucking Herger said. Now you gotta calculate what you can't see. These fucking Wendell created a dragon to fuck with the minds of everyone to make them think that they were more powerful than what they were. So, very psychological warfare for you.
Very.
So he gets back to the village, and then they're all barricaded. They're all ready to go. Now the cavalry comes, starts throwing torches in, making it look like, fire breathing. For that, if somebody lives, they can say, yeah, again, like the old guy in the beginning, spitting fire at us like it came, as it came. Da-da-da-da-da. So they were very, very strategic. With how they did everything.
To cause more fear.
Exactly. And, the next person who lives is going to think that a dragon did this. Because... So, they're doing all that. They're weighing in. And we lose 4 of the 13 in this battle. We lost 2 before. So 2 we lost in the Beowulf kind of situation. We lost 4 at this battle. Now, they're like, we have no other choice. We've got to figure out how to attack these things. We're just going to have to kill them. So the queen is like, well, let's go to this insane asylum in the fucking woods and talk to this crazy bat witch.
It's an outdoors...
insane asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see a lot of, it's like a leper colony, but not, because there really wasn't any lepers. But you see a lot of, Down syndrome type people.
Yeah, like people that are physically, deformed.
Yeah.
And you would think, because they look different, that means that there's something wrong with them, so they get...
That's probably why they're all banished in the fucking woods. And they do say, the woman is quite mad that we're going to go see. And she is. She's just laying there the whole time. Willow. All this weird shit. And they're talking to her, and Herger's like, this is fucking a waste of time. Bolvai's like, we got to do it. We got to talk to this chick. So she says, you can't defeat the Wendell by just trying to kill him. If you try to kill them all, you're going to fucking die. You got to kill him by the root. You got to kill the mother. And then... It's
like vampires. You got to kill the...
Cut the head off the snake, if you will.
Yeah, kill the main vampire.
Kill the main vampire, yeah. Kill Dracula. So... And then she spits out this, you also have to kill the leader of their warriors. He too you must kill. This shit was added, compliments of the studio.
Oh.
He was not, there wasn't supposed to be this fucking duel at the end that was there. It was added. they were like, oh, we need a duel. And it wasn't much of a fucking duel. It was actually pretty pathetic and shouldn't have even been in the film, in my opinion.
I wouldn't really call it a duel.
It wasn't.
I don't even remember it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it really wasn't.
Nope.
So their journey, she gives them this riddle of, they're like, well, where can we find the mother? Oh, she's the earth, seek her in the earth. And they're like, whoa, well, that fucking does a lot for us, doesn't it? Well, Antonio Banderas puts 2 and 2 together. He's like, these guys dress like bears. You know, they want us to think they're bears. How do you hunt a bear? You know, he starts doing what he does, asking all these questions. So they're like, oh, well, you go into its cave with spears. Where's the cave? It's in the earth. You know, and then the scout comes up. Next clan up, many a fires. Is there a cave? You know, Bolvi freaks the fuck out. So then they go, they fucking get into this cave, and one of the Game of Thrones dudes, Uncle Blackfish, he refuses to take off his plate mail. You know, everybody else is like, take off our plate mail, we're going in for a fucking assassination shit, we can't be loud. And he's like, fuck you, I'm leaving mine on. Almost fucks him over. So they get in there, and then Bolvi finally gets past the guards, and, well, first we come to a chamber where it's just human skulls. Human bones, skulls all over the place. And Antonio Banderas is like, I was wrong. These aren't men. These really are demons. Like, there's no way men can do this. These guys eat the flesh of dead. So then Bolvi goes into the mother's chambers, and you see the heads of the other 13 warriors. Like, you see their heads decorated.
Yeah, I got like a very Peter Jackson, King Kong vibe from these people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bones.
Very tribal, very...
Bones everywhere,
Yeah.
like, they wear bones.
Primitive.
They're covered in mud, but that was also like their clothing, kind of.
Well, again, that takes you to that, they think they're bears.
They think they're bears.
They think they only have one female in the tribe. All of these fucking men share this one woman.
Dear God, woman.
I know.
Good for you.
And the one guy that was in her cave, in her little room with her, that was probably the guy that was chosen that particular fucking month to get fucked. I don't know.
How did they make so many people with one chick?
Again, that's the psychological side, right?
Is it?
If we think about this in a real life manner, we're thinking Pirate Dread Roberts.
Who?
The Dread Pirate Roberts, Princess Bride. Everybody's like, oh, the Dread Pirate Roberts, he lives on. No, there's been like 8 Dread Pirate Roberts. It's just, you know, the original Dread Pirate Roberts came to me and was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Do you want to take over the mantle? Okay, why not? Yeah, sure, I'll be the Dread Pirate Roberts. That could be what they're fucking doing. The daughter born, maybe we go a White Walker fucking route. Maybe the first woman to be born from all these guys, maybe all women are killed except for the first daughter that's born, right? And then they use that daughter as the next mother.
Yeah.
So as soon as the current mother is killed or dies or something, that mother takes over.
God.
Yeah, that mother takes over. I mean, this is my thoughts. This is what I'm getting from this film. These are like my ideas. Again, I don't know. I haven't read the book. I don't know. But this is where my fucking imagination takes me. All right, my D&D brain. This is where my shit takes me.
Yeah, I can tell with this.
Right. So that's my thought. But anywho, Bolvi goes in and he finally faces this chick. And here is where we butted heads with the directors.
Okay.
Yet again. McTiernan wanted the mother to be kind of fat, grotesque, obese, wanted her to represent the statue. He wanted that. He wanted this disgusting looking woman to fight Bolvi and wanted to be just terrified, right? Terrifying. Crichton was like, no, we need to have a woman attractive to give Bolvi this, to distract Bolvi, to give him that distraction. We need to have somewhat of an attractive woman. So the guy that played Bolvi, Vladimir, he had to record 2 different takes. One with the big woman, and then the other with this attractive woman. Crichton literally tells him, he goes, don't worry about what you're going to do with McTiernan, because at the end of the day, it's my choice. So just concentrate on what we're doing. So Vladimir was like, okay. He was like, for better or for worse, was it good? I don't know. He was like, personally, I kind of liked Crichton's version better, but he was like, what was it? Which would have been better? I don't know. I liked what they did. I liked the the younger look because, again, that took me to my head. Like, this is a young looking girl.
She could have been a newly appointed mother.
Right. Like, this is a young looking girl. We've got all of these things that are using. So, yeah, that's, again, I was like, okay, that works, man. That fucking works.
I feel like the big woman would take us to, like, Star Wars, like Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, anywho, she dips her little stick, her little claw into a poison, scratches Bullvi. Bullvi cuts her fucking head off. Done.
Yeah, that was quick.
Bullvi tries to escape. Everybody's getting overrun. We lose Uncle Blackfish. They get out by going into the water under this little thing, right? They go into that tunnel.
Yeah.
Here is where we get a little technical difficulties with this film. Dennis Storhoy, Herger, he almost drowned during this take.
Is this when they're going underwater?
Yes.
Oh my god, I fucking hate those type of scenes when people go underwater in movies and you have no idea where the surface is.
Yep.
I hate it.
So they all went underwater, and Antonio like talks about this, and so does fucking Bullvi, so does Vladimir, because Antonio was with him, and Antonio goes up first, right? And Antonio's like, it's just a wall in the water. There's like a little tunnel that we swim through. He goes, I don't really know what happened, but he was like, I come up, and then I hear someone shouting from the other side, "Where's Dennis?" And they're like, "Oh, Dennis is over there." And they go, "Dennis is not over here. Where's Dennis?" And then Antonio's like, "Oh my god!" And then he oh my god, he tries to be fucking hero, and Antonio dives back in, and he's like, "I'm trying to look around. I'm trying to find. I go up to wall. I see the wall moving, and then I feel something grab me. I feel someone just grab me, and I pull, and it's Dennis, and he's gray, and he's just looks horrible." And he was like, he couldn't shoot for 3 days.
What?
Because he almost died.
Oh my
It
God.
was like Antonio. It was just like, and everybody was like, dude, yeah, like I said earlier, Vladimir, he was like, they went through some shit for this film.
Wow.
But so did they did in Conan.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking physical abuse.
Yeah.
And again, like, and it made it sound like you didn't have fucking people underwater in case this happened. We didn't have a fucking dive crew. Maybe that's why they started doing that shit now. Maybe that's why they started having people in water now for fucking, maybe this movie fucking made it happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, none of you were doing your own shit anymore. Congratulations.
Well, it's a safety.
Right.
You need professionals for certain things, and that's why we have people that learn all that shit so they can
be safe. Yeah.
be safe and do it.
Well, at least
leave it to the professionals.
Yeah, people trained to be in that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yep, so that happens. So then they get back to the castle. Bullvi's dying, and he's all like, I'm going to die a pauper. Because he lost his sword. Mm-hmm. Big in Viking culture. I'm sure you even know this.
I don't.
If you're a warrior, you die with your blade.
Oh, no.
You die in battle, you die with your blade. He loses his sword. He loses his weapon. And the king puts his sword on the table, and he goes, you're going to be buried a king. Mm-hmm. When you die, you're going to be buried a king with my sword. So all the guys go out, and they're all like, Bullvi's going to die. He's not going to fight with us. Like, that's just how it is. He's sick. This last battle's on us. So the Vendel, being pissed off, are now just charging. In the rain, don't care. They're coming in.
They thought that they weren't going to fight anymore because the mother is dead.
Yeah, and that's when now the producers were like, oh, well, we got to have a duel at the end. Let's have that wonderful duel at the end. And it's like, don't...
Like, duel? Or you mean like a... battle.
They wanted a duel between Bullvi and the leader, which didn't even turn out to be a fucking duel, so I don't even know why the fuck that was confusing. Put in there.
It was confusing.
Right. That's why they added the, you need to kill the leader with the horns of power. Not fucking needed.
That would have been great to have been brought to our attention yesterday.
Why not lengthen the fucking mother fight if you're gonna fucking do that?
Yeah, or just get rid of the whole mother thing anyway. Like,
I would have preferred the leader gone. I would have preferred the mother as the leader.
Yeah.
Again, why not? Why not?
It was just like, why, like, have one or the other, unless both of them are gonna be have big payoffs.
But again, studio.
And
then Crichton was apparently on board with it. And fun thing was, McTiernan and everybody, they wanted to keep the name Eaters of the Dead. They wanted the movie to be Eaters of the Dead.
It's like the title?
Yeah. But the studio was like, no, too horrifying. We don't want this to look like a horror film. We don't want this to be a horror film. We don't want it. We got to name it something else. Crichton was on board with that. Yeah, no, I think that's a bad idea. 2, we shouldn't do it. Let's name it The 13th Warrior. And McTiernan was like, stupid, but whatever. You know, Vladimir was kind of like, The 13th Warrior, what does that have anything to do with, why not Eaters of the Dead? Like, that's what we're up at. You know, shit like that. But
I don't know. I think they probably could have come up with a better title than 13th Warrior, because I thought that it wasn't like, when I think of like 13th Warrior, this is just my brain.
Yeah.
I did not go to Vikings. It just seemed a little more maybe medieval.
Yeah.
A bit for me. But like the what are they?
Eaters of the Dead.
Eaters of the Dead.
Yeah.
That I got put into like Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. Like,
yeah.
I would have thought, okay, this is a horror film.
This is about zombies or something.
Zombie, yeah.
Yeah. Understandable. Again, that's just what it was. Like, they were like, but that's like what they were trying to sell. Like, they were selling it with medieval warriors up against a demonic army. And it's like, okay, well.
Yeah.
But, anywho, it ended up working. So, Bolvi has his little duel sick. He comes out sick, dying, looks like shit. He aged in like years by this poison. As you see the fucking lines, everything about it. They fucking made him age.
I thought he got like bopped in the head, honestly.
Yeah, they made him look really. Props to the makeup crew, because they made his ass look fucking rough. So he kills the leader, and now they all run off. And they disappear in the mist in a very mythical, mystic way. Mm-hmm. You know, they ride into the mist, and then they all just disappear. So Bolvi throws his sword down, sticks it in the dirt, sits down, accomplished. Everybody's looking off into the mist. Turn around, Bolvi's dead. They burn Bolvi. But Bolvi's last words were he wants someone who can draw words, and we fucking skipped this. But this was actually Antonio, in the beginning of the film, cannot understand what these guys are saying. Again, we were talking about he had a linguist. He had his friend. He's traveling with these guys for fucking probably years. You know, we don't know. They don't give us a timeline. We just have to guess. But Antonio Banderas listens to their conversations so much that he starts to put their language together. Like, he starts to understand what they're saying.
And speak it.
And then is able to speak it. I liked that. I thought that was interesting. I was like, that is very fucking interesting. And I loved how they filmed it.
Yeah.
And another reason why I was glad they didn't use subtitles. Because they're speaking, I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but they're speaking in their language, and now they're slowly going into English, you know?
Yeah.
Go call them in the vest and hit the arm, Billy Goes, put the arm to them. Like, I was like, oh, that's fucking ingenious.
Yeah, cool. I wrote down, how the hell are we going to understand what any of these guys are saying throughout this entire film?
Yeah.
And that's when this was happening. I was like, okay, scratch that.
Never mind.
I don't need that. No,
answered.
Never mind.
Yeah, and then Bolvi is like, how do you draw sounds like that? How did you do that? Antonio gets down and he's like, he draws out, there is only one God and Muhammad is his prophet. Mm. And Bolvi's all like, okay, no, you just dissed all over my gods. I got to walk away from this. Well, they get to shore, and then Bolvi's all like, speak what I draw. And then he draws exactly. He goes, there's only one God, and Muhammad is his. Antonio Banderas writes prophet. He just looks up and smiles, and then Bolvi just kind of like, okay, I just spit all over my gods, but all right, I'm going to walk away now. So back to it. So he says that he wants somebody to draw his story, draw his tale of him.
Yeah.
So Antonio Banderas is like, yeah, gladly. So Antonio Banderas, the scout, and the Irish guy, they are driving away, and Dennis is all like, bye, Arab, I'm going to stay. So only 5 of the 13 survive. There was a kid that wasn't mentioned at all. He was the archer's son, I guess. Mm-hmm. But he was one of the 13. Herger, the scout, and then Tony Curran, Weath. Tony Curran is like, I don't know what Tony Curran is. I think he's Scottish. But, they were the only ones that survived. And then they sail off. Antonio Banderas is writing his little journal. And then that's the end of the film. So that's the 13th Warrior. That's the end. And when I found out all this stuff, like, I was like, dude, this is nuts. Like, the fact that we've got 3 different creative minds trying to do this film. It could have been so... I love this film, and there is a fucking cult following for this film, because it didn't make theaters. It went straight to film.
Really?
Yeah, I think it went straight to film. I don't even think it made it in the theaters.
So it just went straight to, like, VHS?
Yeah.
DVD, whatever?
Yeah.
DVD was around then? No?
Mm-hmm.
No? Probably not. I don't know.
Yep. Because I think it just went straight to film.
You're saying film. Like,
as in VHS, DVD.
Okay.
Yeah, it went straight to home movies.
Home viewing.
Home viewing.
Yeah.
So, but there is a following. And even though the script and the movie and you watch it...
Some of the ratings on IMDb are pretty... It's not bad.
Again, no, it's not. I mean... For what they had and everything that I am telling you right now, and all of you are contemplators, this movie should be respected for the amount of shit that it went through.
Wow.
And yeah, dude, you can't help but feel bad for the fucking actors. Like, you got 13 essentially main characters, and only a couple of them had fucking lines.
Yeah.
And only a couple of them were even fucking shown. Fuck, one of them just laughed the entire time, and 2 of them died in the beginning, and that's what Vladimir was talking about. We lost 2 in the first fucking battle, and we're like, oh, 2 of the 13 are dead.
We didn't get to meet any of them.
We don't even, yeah. Again, that's why he was like, how are you going to connect? There's 13 of us. You kill off 2 in the first fucking battle, nobody's going to feel bad about it.
I forgot they were there. I forgot that it happened.
It's like Clash. It's like the original Clash of the fucking Titans. When the 4 guys go off to face Medusa. You don't know who the other fucking 3 are. You know, you don't give a shit about the 2 guys that get eaten by the Cerberus and then the one that gets turned into stone by Medusa. You just care about fucking, about Perseus. Mm-hmm. You just care about his ass because that's all you know.
Yep.
The other guys are expendable. They're fucking NPCs. Nobody cares. Like, that's just, I don't know. And I like that though. I always find fascination in the ensemble. Mm-hmm. You know, and I would have liked to have seen these guys do more.
How would you feel if they ever did like a remake?
You know, I wouldn't bash a remake. I would love this. There are films that I'm like, do not fucking touch it. Mm-hmm. Don't fucking touch it. Don't even try. But it's something that Hollywood's going to do. Hollywood did it.
You're doing it anyway.
They did it in this, you know, you got to think about it. How many movies in the 70s or the 60s, movies from the 60s, they tried to remake in the 80s, they tried to remake in the 70s, and then, like, it's a generational gap. It's a generation thing, and we just got to accept it.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of just saying, Hollywood, stop this bullshit remake shit because you're running out of ideas. I say that because I get mad because they're not doing original work. Difference. At least when they did remakes in the 80s and in the fucking 70s and they did remakes in the 90s, they at least still brought out original material. Now they are barely bringing out original material.
It's copy and paste.
Exactly.
With more CGI.
Exactly. And that is not a good fucking movie.
No.
I'm sorry. I hate... CGI works for some things. I can't fucking stand it. Reason why fucking the Lord of the Rings did so well and The Hobbit was kind of... Meh. Because The Lord of the Rings barely had any fucking CGI in it. Hobbit, all fucking CGI.
It's like, well, you appreciate... Like, I guess how you feel about this movie, the amount of work that, not saying that CGI movies, like the actors and the teams, whatever, that they don't put in the work.
Yeah. Well, shit, they say it themselves. Oh yeah, Smog was a fucking tennis ball, or you know, or whatever. It's like I'm fucking filming. That's how good of an actor I gotta be because I'm talking to a tennis ball.
I got dots all over my body.
Yeah, I got dots all over me. I'm
wearing a green leotard, man.
And again, good for the people that do motion capture because there are mocap actors, and good for them for getting jobs.
Absolutely.
But it's like, fuck, man. And I know it saves... Does it save that much time, though? I don't know. Again, I don't know. I haven't done mocap.
No.
I haven't sat in a chair for fucking 12 hours getting makeup put on me. Like, I don't know. So, yeah, it's a double-edged fucking sword, I guess. You know?
It is.
But, yeah. But, no, I do. I love this movie, and I wouldn't mind a remake. If they did, I want them to do it right. And I want one fucking director.
I think you should do it.
Oh, God, if only. I would love. I'd love to. Oh. Give me your monies.
Yeah.
Give me the monies.
Yes.
Come on, gang.
We need to do like a GoFundMe for 13th Warrior.
For 13th Warrior for Jarokk to direct.
Yes.
Oh, God. Hey, why not? But anywho.
Dream big.
Right. So, I think that's about it. That's about all I got.
Cool.
So, down to the nitty gritty. Will you watch this movie without me?
No. Mm-hmm. I will say that I was pleasantly surprised about this movie. I thought that this was going to just be a snooze fest. I already had actually like planned in my mind about what I was going to think about, what I was going to do just to get myself through this movie.
Yeah.
I was going to think about how I want to redecorate our living room. I was going to look up our last episode with the Millennium Fashion flashback. I was trying to, I was going to do that. But this movie had, God, what did I write down? It had this, like, there were parts that had this, like, 90s comedy playful vibe.
Yeah.
That made it a little more light and not as Jarokk Warrior heavy.
Yeah.
If I may say. Mm-hmm. So it had something that kept me kind of in a little bit. I agree that I wish we got a little more exposition on like the characters and to get more, to get somewhat attached to anybody, but it was just like everyone was, for the most part, pretty expendable.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't ever watch this by myself.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But I want to share my taglines.
Please.
That I made.
Share them.
So, 13th Warrior. Big things come in small packages. Okay. Hold on, I got more. Okay. 13. It's 13 warriors, right? Or
the 13th warrior.
Okay, that's right. The 13th warrior. Bigger isn't always better.
Ribbed for her pleasure.
We're not talking about that. My God, why is it always sexual with you?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. The 13th warrior. It's not the size of the horse, it's how you ride it.
Ooh. Ribbed for her.
I have the most. I wanted so many more, but the last one I made was so stupid. I had to stop. I said, "This little brother has some big balls."
You dig like a dog.
Yeah. They were just bashing on his
you
side.
dig like a dog.
So much. I just couldn't help but think of like little jokes.
Put your hand down, little brother.
Yeah. But
I loved it.
That's what I came up with.
Good, thank you. Oh God,
you're welcome.
I love it. All right, well, since we are pretty much done with this one, what do you got in store for me?
My God, I have like 3 movies that I want to do. Part of me wants to do them back to back, but 2 of them are somewhat similar. And the funny thing is that they actually came out in the same year.
Ooh.
But I'm gonna break it up, and I'm gonna start with Stage Beauty with Billy Crudup and Claire Danes.
Oh, I don't know
it.
I don't know it at all.
It's really good. I feel like it is somewhat an underrated film. It takes place kind of like around like Shakespeare time and the theater, when like the transition between women being able to perform in the theater as actors.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Othello. That's like the main.
They're putting on Othello.
Yes. Yeah. That's
no shit.
Yeah, that's why I said Shakespeare. Like the main
all right.
play. Yeah. Really,
well then.
really good.
Stage Beauty.
Yes.
Stage Beauty it shall be. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this wonderful evening.
Yes.
Or afternoon, or whenever you're watching.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Yeah.
But please give us some 5-star ratings. Tell some people that you might think would like us. Mm-hmm. Write us a little review if you want to follow us. We are on Twitter, movies_pod. On Instagram, we are movies.contemplation_pod. We also have an email.
Yeah.
movies.contemplation@gmail.com. And Facebook, Movies and Contemplation.
Reach out.
Hashtag
Jarokk for directing 13th Warrior remake.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I think we're done. We're about there. Again, reach out to us. Mm-hmm. Love to hear from you.
It's so bedtime.
It is bedtime. I'm ready. All right, folks. Good night and good luck.
Weird.
Yeah, well.